Hi, my name is Gaurav Zutshi, and I'm the CEO of MMPL, and we are India's largest digital payments company. So, if we are 5 years old, and India is 68 years old, but I would see the velocity of action and velocity of growth has expedited in the last, I would say, decade, and it's really taken more speed since Prime Minister Modi has come in with his strong leadership and statesman-like qualities and engaging and kind of taking everybody along, whether it's international investors, whether it's international leaders, and also his team. So when I say that, what's my expectation from the future? I believe the future is bright. Future is going to be prettier and more progressive than what it's today. Uh, but what we want is we have to see that the growth in India is inclusive. Even if India is growing and India is progressing, the progress should not be left with the 10% haves and leave everybody else disenfranchised. So we believe that it should be inclusive. So some of those things like where they have done direct benefit transfer based on Aadhaar, LPG subsidy, lot of the leakage in the government benefits have been tapped, which is good. That means benefits are being given to people who really deserve it, who are below the poverty line, or who are in the weaker sections of the society. So the team of Modi and the leadership and the bureaucracy is going in the right direction, and I believe the corporate houses are going to align with them, and the industry will progress likewise. So if you look at the digital payments domain, RBI has been very progressive. They have created this new category or a differentiated category called payment bank and small bank. They gave 11 new payment bank licenses last month. They gave 10 small bank licenses this month. So there will be these 21 new players who will go out in the market. And even though from policy, it's meant that they have to go and give credit to the farmers below 25 lakhs and in the priority sector. So that has to happen, because today our farmers are still committing suicides. Marathwada has got drought. So we have to see that, the resources, whether it's capital or whether it's power and water, is distributed uniformly to the whole of India, the heart of India, the villages, the outside of the cities. So we only focus in the media on the top 10 or top 20 cities. So we have to really keep the pulse of the real India, the heart of India, the farmer. We are still on which we all depend on. So I would say that the next few years will be testing times where we have to recalibrate both our expectation as well as keep on working with the firm belief that it's only going to get better. As long as we work with a high moral standard, we don't indulge in corrupt practices. Corruption should be stemmed out of the system. We have seen that at the top, if we see the Prime Minister and his cabinet, if they are not tainted, and then the bureaucracy below them and the state level and even at the municipality level should stem out corruption. So I think if corruption is stemmed, benefits are given to the people who really deserve them. Technology is an enabler. I think this country can only prosper and become the Sone ki chidiya one more time. Thank you very much.
These are extremely interesting times for India. India at 68 is a very, very important milestone in the life of our country. And there are various reasons for this. One gets the feeling that we are coming of age at this point in time when we have a good access to excellent talent across the country, and the conditions are ripe for a revolution through entrepreneurship and startups. Coupled with this, there is a huge number of macroeconomic factors that also support the same play out. A, our impressive rate of growth. B, our enviable fiscal deficit. 3, thanks to China's fluctuating economy, FII interest in India has come back with renewed vigor. So what is the present government? What has it done to ensure that there is continued growth and there is definite visibility and there is an air of promise? To begin with, Mr. Modi's successful travel across various nations solidified his position as a leader who could talk brand India. And that was an excellent piece of statesmanship and brand ambassadorship of a country badly in need of reparal, of image reparal. But it's been about a year and a half. Now the sheen of storytelling has faded away. This is the time for conscious, concrete action that will take the level of play to the next level. What are the three things that are very important and very crucial for a developing nation of our stature and at our interesting lifespan? And I've always maintained that we are a country of many countries. And until and unless we adopt a more inclusive way of operating, either in the political space or the organizational space, we will be doing grave injustice to a lot of marginalized stakeholders. So, keeping that in mind, the three very important factors that I would want the political machinery to really go after: better healthcare, better education, and definitely the biggest devil in the system, corruption. Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dr. Debraj Shome. I am a facial plastic surgeon and the CEO and co-founder of MeryAngels.com. I'm a big optimist and a very enthusiastic supporter of Mr. Narendra Modi and the Bharatiya Janata Party, which came to power recently. For me, it was a vote for change. And I think 14 months or 16 months is very little time to really go ahead and change a country as diverse and as complex as India. So as a result of which, I would like to believe that the jury is still out on Mr. Narendra Modi's stewardship. We find it difficult sometimes to run a company which has only 10 or 15 people. It must be really difficult to run a country which has so many different languages and so many people as India does. It's almost like administering an entire continent. So I would request myself and everyone else to remain optimistic and to remain in the hope that this government will deliver on what past governments have failed to deliver and take India to being the next superpower in this world. I think the one thing that the Modi administration would do well to go ahead and replicate is provide ways by which more and more Indians can become employable and by which more jobs can be created. If more and more Indians can get into entrepreneurship, I think the one thing that changed for the US was when a lot of people started becoming entrepreneurial in nature, and that kickstarted the economy. If we can go ahead and see impetus to industry being given by the government, then there would be more jobs which would be created for the average Indian, and the standards of living would ultimately rise. So I think it's about enabling. The government should be a facilitator and an enabler of industry such that we can go ahead and raise the bar of living for every Indian by creating more jobs and thereby giving more opportunities to every Indian. The three important changes that I would like to see in India, the first one is basically, let's take 2 minutes. The three important changes that I would like to see, number one would be a fillip to entrepreneurship. If we can go ahead and have more entrepreneurs who are available in India, then there would be more industries which would be set up, and these industries would give opportunities to young people for employability. And employment generation would itself result in the GDP rising. So I think the government has to play a role in making sure that entrepreneurs get a fillip to kickstart the economy, both for themselves. There has to be an incentive to become an entrepreneur. So it should be easier to become an entrepreneur, and there should be an incentive by which I believe that if I work harder, I can get rich. That will incentivize me or any other entrepreneur to create industries which will in turn alleviate poverty and keep and raise the standard of living in this country. The second thing that I would like to do is I would like to see the government spend more money on healthcare. I was a little bit disappointed when in the first budget announced by the Union Finance Minister last year, the healthcare budgets were actually decreased or slashed. I don't think health and education budgets cannot be slashed in India. There's no point in spending 3 or 4% of our money on the army. I'm not saying the army is not important, but there's no point in spending on the army if people are going to be getting killed by poverty and getting killed by diseases. So therefore, healthcare spends have to go up. People have to be healthy in order to go ahead and raise the ability of the workforce to deliver on what has been promised. I would also like to see the government taking more interest in education. Unless and until we increase the skill levels of Indians, we're going to find it very difficult to really go ahead and make sure that Indians can be employed all across the world. So these are some of the changes that I hope that the administration will see in. These are all very, very smart people. I'm just a small entrepreneur. I just hope that some of these things are on the priority list of the current government. Thank you.
The three important changes that I would like to see in the country. The first one being that when we talk about Make in India, we really need to start making something that is Indian and not start making something that is foreign. I really feel that the healthcare system in India isn't up to the mark. And I think that when we talk about Make in India, we can start making Ayurvedic medicines in villages, like how Khadi Bhandar has been started, and the villagers have been given skill sets on how to make cloth, how to make a lot of other products. Similarly, generic Ayurvedic medicines should be taught to villages, and they should start making them to improve the healthcare and the rural area. Another important change that I would like to see in the country is that of cultural tolerance. In Modi government, there has been an increased number of intolerance towards different cultures, and Hinduism is being promoted a lot, which I really don't expect from Modi, who comes with a development agenda. Another thing, that to raise the standard of living from the present administration, I would feel that if we were to raise the standard of living, the mindset of the people needs to change. The mindset being that there needs to be an increase of people who would send us children to school. There should be increased number of hospitals, increased number of schools, and a lot of investment must come, especially in Mumbai, for transportations and public vehicles. I spoke very badly.
Yes, I am happy with the growth, and I believe that this can even grow more, provided there's political will to make differences. To make a difference, I'm unhappy that the GST hasn't gone through yet, and I'm sure that would have made a difference as well. I think India's growth story under the Modi government will continue to grow, and I'm sure that it will rise. And our brand image across the world has actually improved hugely, and I can see that working from different countries through our homeopathy clinics. I'm not sure whether the standard of living will go up so soon. I still think that's something that's going to take a lot of time to get implemented and to get felt at the grassroots level. The three important changes that I'd like to see in India: first, of course, health, and I like alternative health to be a very strong part of it, particularly homeopathy, because even through vaccinations, it can actually save a lot of revenue for the government, and through health education, you can actually make a lot of difference in the education in the health of people all across India. I'd also like to see job creation, and I'd like to particularly see skill development in the country. Thank you. Hello, I'm Dr. Mukesh Batra, and I'm founder chairman of Dr. Batra's Healthcare.
मैं आम आदमी पार्टी का नेशनल एग्जीक्यूटिव का मेंबर मयंक गांधी हूँ। सवाल ये है कि क्या ग्रोथ इंडिया का जो हुआ वो ठीक है या इससे बेहतर हो सकता था। मुझे ये लग रहा है कि देयर इज़ अ गैप बिटवीन द पोटेंशियल एंड द परफॉर्मेंस। द पोटेंशियल ऑफ इंडिया इज़ इमेंस, and I think India has grown not because of the political intervention, not because of political parties, not because of politicians, but in spite of them. हमारे अंदर इतनी कैपेसिटी है काम करने की, ग्रो करने की, लेकिन पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम इस तरह से उनको फैसिलिटेट करने के बजाय उसको रोकता है, रुंधा देता है। तो मैं ये समझता हूँ कि अगर फ्रीडम मिल जाए, अगर ये लिबरलाइजेशन और हो जाता है, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप अगर आ जाती है, हर एक को अपनी कैपेबिलिटी के ऊपर काम करने की अलाउ कर सकते हैं, ये लाइसेंस राज, ये करप्शन, ये रेड्स, ये सब कुछ बंद करके अगर हम लोगों, क्योंकि कोई भी देश ग्रो करता है पॉलिटिशियन के द्वारा ग्रो नहीं करता है, ये ग्रो करता है लोगों के द्वारा। पॉलिटिशियंस को सिर्फ उतना काम है कि इनको फैसिलिटेट करें, उनको मदद करें कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा किस तरह इस देश को आगे बढ़ाया जाए। थैंक यू।
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Outlaw, and I am the Director of Public Relations for Gulf Coast Redevelopment. In the answer to these 4 questions, from my perspective as a non-citizen of India, it seems like the growth here is very strong. And as far as our business goes, we are happy with the growth in India. We have found that during the Modi government's tenure that our business has actually improved. So we would say that the Modi government has actually improved the economy in India from our perspective. Expectations for the standard of living are, from our perspective, is infrastructure related. 3 important changes we'd like to see in India is improved infrastructure, particularly around transportation, improved health care for our workers here, and changes, I would say improved opportunities for investment. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Lalit S. Kanodia. I'm the chairman of Datamatics Group of Companies. Earlier, I was the founder CEO of Tata Consultancy Services, better known as TCS. I'll be happy to respond to any questions that you may have. I'll be more than happy to give you my views. You want me to continue speaking, or you want to ask the questions? Well, as far as the conclave is concerned, I've been coming to this conclave for many years, and I must tell you that it is improving every year. This year is probably the best conclave I've seen in many years. So I must congratulate Satya Brahma for the wonderful job that he's doing, and I am sure that it will grow from strength to strength to strength. Talking of India's growth story, I think as a country we need to be proud of what we are doing. Our growth this year will be between 7 and 8%, which is quite remarkable. As you know, the fastest growing large economies of the world were acronym BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now, if you look at the economic parameters of these countries, you'll find that every one of them is in trouble. Brazil, in fact, has a negative rate of growth this year. Russia is in the press for whatever reason. China, as you know what's happened, and the stock market has gone down thanks to China. And South Africa also is not doing well. So I think India can be very proud of the fact that of these 5 countries, India is doing extremely well. It is the fastest growing large economy in the world. So I think something we can be justly raise our head and say, well done. So I think we need to be very proud of what Modi is doing. And I sincerely believe that all his policies are very far-sighted, and I think he's doing a great job as far as his vision is concerned. Whether it's vocational training, whether it's Make in India, whether it's smart cities, whether it's Swachh Bharat. So every one of his themes is absolutely appropriate and will help its citizens. I sincerely hope that we have more responsible opposition that helps him, such as the GST bill, for example, that can help him accelerate the rate of growth. And I think it's our duty, our national duty, that all of us support a progressive legislation, progressive wisdom, progressive sight that he brings to the table. I sincerely believe that Modi will be a good Prime Minister and he'll accomplish a great deal for every citizen of this country. When you talk of the three important changes that I would like to see, I would like to start with education. I think one of the big problems we've had in this country is education. 30% of India is still illiterate, and when we define illiteracy as our ability to read and write our name, actually illiteracy may be higher than that. So I think we need to put in a lot of focus on eradicating illiteracy. Second is health. So I think it's very important to have a healthy nation. And I think our health facilities, whether it's doctors, whether it's hospital beds, and so on, leave a lot to be desired. So I want to see a healthy India. I want to see an India where sickness is low, where the life expectancy rises. So I really like to see that happen. And third, least but probably not the least important, very important, is economic wealth. I think we need to generate and improve our per capita income. I think our economy is about $2 trillion a year right now. Our per capita income is about 3% of the USA, and we have a long way to go. So I really hope and wish that every one of us, his politicians, his bureaucrats, his businessmen, its citizens, you and me, put our shoulder to it and make sure that our per capita income rises, where we can become proud of the nation and what it was for so many years. India was one of the wealthiest. We had one of the highest per capita income in the world just 200 years ago. So I see no reason why we cannot get to that stage if all of us will and wish to do that.
मुझे लगता है कि जो ग्रोथ हुई है, जो तरक्की हुई है, वो सिर्फ बहुत बड़े वर्ग की हुई है और आम आदमी तक वो तरक्की नहीं पहुंच पाई है, सिर्फ बड़े शहरों तक ही पहुंची है। तो मेरे ख्याल से ऐसी ग्रोथ काफ़ी नहीं है। जब तक कि जैसे गरीब आदमी, जिसका आखिरी आदमी एम्पावर ना हो, मजबूत ना हो, तब तक ये प्रक्रिया रुकनी नहीं चाहिए और तब तक हम बहुत कमज़ोर हैं। और इससे मैं नहीं कहूँगा कि हम बहुत आगे निकल आए हैं, शायद कुछ महीने में आगे निकले भी हैं, लेकिन कुछ लोग हैं जो बहुत पीछे छूट गए हैं और हम उन्हें साथ नहीं ले पाए हैं। ठीक है। मोदी गवर्नमेंट की बात करें तो हाँ, प्रगति होने के चांसेस हैं, हो रहा है, विकास की बात सब तरफ चल रही है, लेकिन ये विकास किसका होगा ये महत्वपूर्ण है। कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि सिर्फ जो बड़े बड़े उद्योगपति हैं, बड़े इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट हैं, बहुत बड़े बिजनेसमैन हैं, सिर्फ उन्हीं का विकास हो। और इसी की संभावना ज़्यादा लगती है, क्योंकि इस विकास की, जो विकास की पूरी परियोजना है, जो विकास का पूरा स्कीम है, जो संकल्पना है, ये आम आदमी के विकास की नहीं है, एक गरीब आदमी के विकास की नहीं है। इसमें विकास का मतलब सिर्फ बड़ी बड़ी इंडस्ट्रीज़ और उनको और बड़ा बनाते जाना, फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट और सब कुछ, पर इसमें आम आदमी के लिए, गरीब आदमी के लिए कुछ नहीं है। तो ये विकास एक तरफ झुका हुआ है, पूरे देश का नहीं है, केवल बताने में लगता है कि देश का है, असल में वो देश का नहीं है, देश के सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक वर्ग का है। देश की सबसे बड़ी आबादी इस विकास से कहीं दूर है, और जितना ये विकास आगे जाता है, वो आबादी उतना ही पीछे की तरफ खींचती जाती है। तो मेरे ख्याल से ये प्रक्रिया जो मोदी गवर्नमेंट में हो रही है, ये तो होने की संभावना है, वो